do you want to become in the next 5 years? If you really think about it and you analyze yourself, who do you want to become? The truth is, your future is built through small, consistent habits, but not just also habits, powerful choices that you make. I was watching a video and I heard that from Mission Impossible. He said that your life is a summation of choices, and those choices are built off of habits. So I want to talk about in this video the path to becoming the ideal you, the ideal version of yourself. And this also is inspired by a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you haven't checked out that book, go check it out. It's amazing, amazing, amazing book. It's a very good bestseller, New York bestseller, amazing book. And I'm gonna talk about some few points and highlights from that book, but how it's important that developing habits and building consistency can help you become the person that you're supposed to be. Now, habits shapes identity, and I cannot even talk deep about this because you know initially I was like, when I heard about how your habits shape your life, I was like, how can habits? I mean, it's a habit for me to brush my hair in the morning. It's a habit for me to brush my teeth in the morning. It's a habit for me to take a shower in the morning. It's a habit for me to. It's something. It's a second nature for me. I don't have to think about it. How are those things going to affect me? But it's not about what the action itself. It's about the feeling you get, and that's one thing I love about the book. He said that habits is a behavior that has been repeated enough times for it to become automatic, right? So it's like you building a muscle. When the first day you go to the gym, you lift the weight, you're tired, you're exhausted. But the more you lift the weight, the more you don't even feel that way anymore. So you have to keep increasing the weight, increasing the weight, increasing the weight. Your body automatically gets used to a specific activity for numerous amount of time. And because it gets used to it, it makes you become who you need to be. And now that is the question is, who is the ideal you? What is the ideal self? If you look at yourself 5 years from now, who do you aspire to be? When you look at that and you have that, then ask yourself, what are the habits? What did they do to achieve the goal that they wanted to be in becoming their ideal self? So habits aren't just actions, they're votes for the type of person you want to become. It shapes your identity. And he talked about it in three aspects. He talks about how many people focus on the outcome and not their identity. He said you have to focus on the identity, then the process, then the outcome. Now, if my goal is to lose weight, right? Initially, the outcome is I want to lose weight. That's the goal, right? If I want to be a slimmer person, that is my goal. I want to feel healthier. I want to feel good. I want to feel amazing in my own skin. If that is the goal, then I have to create habits, systems that help me achieve that lifestyle, but not just achieve it, maintain it. And that's why building habits that are healthy or good habits, because we have bad habits as well, right? Because our life is a summation of choices, right? So we can be doing what we think we want to do with our lives. We can be doing what we aspire to do with our lives, but they are the wrong things. Just like, for example, we all have the same timing. I go to work, I come back, I go to my television, I watch my television. When I'm done with that, I go to bed. I don't even sleep. I scroll on my social media till like 2 a.m. in the morning, sleep for just 5 hours or even less, wake up at 6 a.m., off to work again. And I just keep repeating this habit over and over and over and over again. Now, I do want to go to work. I do want to feel better. But the habits that I've put in place is not helping me become that person that I want to achieve. So what do? I have to change my habits, right? And how do you change your habits? He gave 4 steps. It says habits are formed through cues, craving, response, and reward. Now, the cue is what helps you notice the reward. The craving is what helps you want the reward. The response is what helps you obtain the reward. The reward is the satisfaction. So he says that before a habit is formed, you first have to have an interest, then desire it, then take action, and then you feel fulfillment. Habit is not about the action itself, it's about the fulfillment that you feel, what you feel at the end of it. And he gives so many examples in the book. He said that if you enter into a dark room, the interest is, oh, this is a dark room. Then what do? You desire for light to come in. And because you want to desire for light to come in, you take an action by switching on the light. And now you can see. So the reason why you turned on and you did all of that was so that you could see. And he said that whenever you continue to repeat certain habits, it becomes a second nature to you. Why am I talking about habits? Because habits will help you in defining the structure to make you become who you need to be. Our life is a summation of choices and habits that we have accumulated from years and years to come. Now, there's some habits that are very good and there's some habits that are very bad. And the reason why you must understand that changing those habits will help you become who you need to be, you have to analyze what is that person doing and how can I do it in my life. Now, you don't rush it. You just have to find a way to change it. And he talks about it in a very beautiful, beautiful way. I have the book with me, and it's a beautiful book, I tell you. It is a very beautiful book. But changing those habits will help you become the person that you need to be. Now, when you know those habits, then you can discover what is my identity around it. If I want to stop smoking, instead of me saying, I'm trying to stop smoking, I should say, I'm not a smoker. And the reason why is that when you understand that this sort of behavior is no longer associated with me, you can no longer identify yourself as that kind of mindset or with that kind of mindset or that kind of ideology. Now, you want to have the identity because identity fuels process. Once you see yourself differently, right, your daily processes naturally shifts. For me, I gave an example previously about environment. I did a video about environment. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. And that video, I talked about how I was in a situation where someone was telling me that they would work for money. And I said, I don't want to work for money. I want money to work for me. And I looked like I was being prideful, but that was who I am. I will never work for money. Money works for me. And this has become an identity. It's not a matter of do I think, it is who I am. I attract because I have value. So instead of me focusing on wasting that time to get money, I rather get value that will attract money in the first place and then find a way to multiply it so that I can create wealth. That is how I think. This is how I think. This is who I am. So when someone comes to tell me, oh my gosh, you're going to hustle for money, I'm like, no, that's not me. I don't hustle. I don't. It's not who I am. It may irritate some people, but I am conscious that is who I am. Okay, let's give an example with something else. When somebody says that they know their identity around a certain thing or who they want to become, they say, I am disciplined instead of I want to be disciplined. Because you wanting to be disciplined is the desire to have it. When you say I am disciplined, you are stating that this desire is now my reality. It is my existence, it's who I am, it's who I'm thinking, it's who I want to be, it's who I want to be associated with. So instead of saying I'm trying to quit smoking, I am not a smoker. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm trying to stop drinking. No, I don't drink. You have created a shift from trying to being. And this is so important because it's the be, do, have principle. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Where you have to become the person. You have to change your certain thinking to stop aspiring to want it, but thinking that you already have it. Right? So it's very important that you know your identity about becoming who you need to be. And when you do that, your daily processes will naturally shift what it is that you wanted to shift. Another thing is that process creates outcomes, right? Any lasting transformation is a result of systems, consistency, and not just random effort. I know this personally because I remember when so I have two YouTube channels, right? One for my ministry, one for the Purpose University, one for business. Initially, when I started the other YouTube channel, I was not consistent. My goal was that I wanted people to get a specific kind of content at the end of the week or at the end of the week. I didn't really have too much. I just knew that that was what I wanted. I wanted to share what I learned with people, right? And because I wanted to share what I learned with people, that was my goal. But the problem with a goal or a desire or whatever it is that it will not sustain, or it will never be achieved if you do not have a system. Goals are not permanent. You can write a goal and say, "Oh, I want to do this," but if you do not back it up with a plan and a system, it will be very hard for you to achieve that goal. So what do you do then? You create a system. So for me, what I did was that I came up with a system. How can I upload videos every week? I came up with a system of batch recording everything in 1 week towards the end of the month, and then making sure that I have a fixed date of upload and also a fixed time. This system can run even though I'm here or I'm not here, because you want it to keep going whether you're in it or you're not in it. If I'm not available today, I can tell one of my team members, "Oh, I'm not available," but they already know that I upload videos every Wednesday at this specific time, and I batch record what I want to do. So that is, I create a plan of what I want to do every week. I create that plan, print it out, and then I record my videos. And you're wondering, "Anita, how is this possible?" I even have it right here. See, this is what I do. Everything has a week. This is week 1. This is week 2. Even the content that I'm sharing with you right now has been drafted as a plan. This is what I'm saying today. This is what I'm trying to say. You see? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I create a plan to help me achieve this. And this is a process, but it's a process that is needed. So don't just think about, "Oh, I want to achieve this goal. I want to be the woman I need to be." What have you put in place to become that woman? Yes, you've clicked on the identity that I'm a high value woman. I'm a beautiful woman. I'm a fit woman. I am healthy. Excuse me. I'm healthy. I'm this, I'm that. That's good. That's good. You've affirmed yourself and you're doing things to help you affirm that yourself. What are the systems you've put in place to make sure you become that person? Because if there's no systems, you can never build longevity. You will never be able to sustain something if there are no systems and structure in place. And you need to be consistent. So when I did that, I was now able to upload every week. Even the short videos, I have a day of upload for it. And that someone asked me the other day, "How is it that you have 2 YouTube channels? You post every week." And I'm not talking about short videos, long videos of minimum of sometimes some of them can be 7 minutes, sometimes they can be 20 minutes or even more. It depends, right? But they asked me, "How is it that you're very consistent in uploading videos every week, even though you have a holiday, even though when you don't have a holiday, we always see a video uploaded every single week? How?" And I said to them Yes, I know. There, that means she said that means you must record 8 videos. How do you record 8 videos? And sometimes you get tired. How do you do it? I'm like, because I don't do it when you think I do it. I bash record. Towards the ending of the month, I come up with what I'm gonna share for the next month. I draft out a plan. I print out what I'm gonna talk about, and I schedule the day of recording. So what do? I schedule one day to record for my first YouTube channel. I schedule one day to record for my second YouTube channel. Now, if you are editing, you can also do, I said, I'm going to dedicate the last week of the month to do this so that in the next month, I don't have to think about content. I can focus on what I need to focus on to expand my business or my relation or whatever it is. I created a plan. And I was consistent with it. This is what helps you become who you need to be. The ideal version you're looking for, you need to be consistent with your goals. You need to create a plan and a system and be consistent with it. Don't just make random efforts. Yeah, sometimes you want to go with the flow and you want to pick up a camera and record. Do that, but at least make sure that you've done what you need to do beforehand. I record my 4 videos in one day because I already have a plan. I know what to talk about. So I create and I record myself, and then when I want to edit, I can edit that in one day. Recording takes me maximum 2 hours. Editing takes me, let's say, a few days. So my work time in a total of a day, 5 hours of work, I'm done recording, uploading for one day. Same thing goes for this YouTube channel as well. So you understand what I'm saying about content, about creating a system and being consistent with it. That's how I'm consistent. I don't wake up every single day and say, okay, on Friday is upload day, so I have to record my video on Thursday, and that's draining. That would drain me because things can happen, right? So when I have the opportunity to record, I record immediately before that month, so I know that for the month of September, I don't have to think about content. That's how I do it. And then if I have a random thing I want to post, then at least I can post it later on. But at least I know that the ones I'm supposed to upload, I've been done with. So, so process creates outcome. You need to have a consistent system. What is the third thing? Your mindset matters. A growth mindset unlocks resilience, right? And how you think about failure and success directly impacts your transformation. How do you think about things? Do you have a scarcity mindset? Do you always think small? Okay, now that your mindset is small, then work on your mindset. You want to become the ideal version of yourself, you need to work on your mindset. Because the mindset you have right now is the mindset of a mediocre person. The mindset you have right now is the mindset of someone that has scarcity. You need to make sure that you equip yourself with information that makes you have an abundant mindset. Give yourself a transformation of information of the ideal person that you want to do. What would my ideal person do in this situation? Then do it. Act like your ideal self. Change your mindset, your thinking. How do you think about things? Do you think about failure and success in a certain way? How do you think about things? It impacts your transformation. It does. Work on your mindset, your thinking process. How do you analyze things? What perspective do you view things with? And lastly, your character and transformation. Becoming your ideal self isn't just about the success, right? It's about shaping the inner character that sustains external achievement. Let me tell you, I was watching a video recently, and in the video, the girl was saying something about how she saw this butterfly in a cocoon, and the butterfly had been trying to come out of the cocoon. She kept pushing to come out. And because it kept coming out, it looks like it was struggling to come out, right? It looked like it was really struggling to come out. You know what she did? She went ahead and brought a knife and just cut the cocoon a bit so the butterfly could come out. What she didn't know was that doing that, thinking she was helping that butterfly, was what actually terminated that butterfly's destiny. The butterfly could not fly anymore because normally when the butterfly goes through the process of coming out, the constant push and pull exercises and and makes the wings stronger so that they can be able to sustain that life of flying. Why am I saying this? Most times the process is needed. The transformation, the character building, the self development, discipline, habits, they help you in building you up to be the person that can sustain the lifestyle that you want to achieve. The ideal version of yourself, you need to work on your character, work on how you think, work on your mindset. How are you with things? What are your disciplinary actions? What do you do? Are you self disciplined? Do you develop your mindset? Do you read books? This process may feel hard, but it's what will help you maintain. If you're trying to lose weight, what are the things you put into perspective? Okay, how can I eat healthier? How can I exercise much better? Now, you can just quickly take a diet and boom, lose all the weight, but you will never be able to maintain it. You know why you'll never be able to maintain it? Because you've never built the lifestyle or the character that can help you maintain that lifestyle of a healthy lifestyle. So what do? You gradually learn. It may be slower, but at the end of the day, it's what is durable, it's what lasts. The longevity of you becoming the ideal you, but also maintaining that, you have a higher chance of remaining in that good version of yourself than someone that immediately rushes to try to transform themselves immediately, will never be able to sustain and maintain that transformation. So you need to gradually build your muscle. It's like muscle. You have to gradually build it. And eventually you'll be able to manage, but not just also manage, be able to thrive in your place of transformation. So I want you to know that habits do not restrict freedom, they actually create freedom. Because when you build consistent habits over time, it helps you become who you need to be. It transforms your mind. It it pads you up, right? You're no longer limited. You move forward. So how can you build good habits? He talked about the ways of building good habits. He said, make it obvious. If you're trying to lose weight, put healthy food around you. Make it attractive. Create a plan that is easy to implement, right? And enjoy it. If I don't like vegetables, how can I eat vegetables to make it more appealing? Well, I can cut them into small pieces so you don't feel them in the food, or I can steam them. I can put a bit of seasoning in them to make them taste a bit better. I can steam them just a little bit. I can bake them. Just like incorporate the things you want to do, but make it much, much better. That's the way you build good habits that help you create good choices that give you the life that you want to live, but most importantly, help you become the ideal version that you want to be. I hope this was very, very helpful for you, and I will see you guys later.